So great seeing my next guest back in action. Going to be taking on Veronica Hardy, UFC Fight Night, December 2nd in Austin. Doesn't get much better than this. It is Jamey-Lyn Horth back here on the program. Jamie, how are you?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
Doing awesome. Good to see you get the second UFC fight. We haven't seen you obviously since April. I know you've been doing some cross training. What's been the reason? Because I'm sure you wanted to fight a bit sooner than this.
Yeah. Well, after my fight in April, we weren't sure. We were told that we weren't going to get put on that Vancouver card, but we stayed kind of active. I was in the gym like 4 days after my fight for a just in case if somebody got hurt, a quick fill in. And then since then, we've kind of just been like, putting our foot on the gas pedal because we just don't know if we're going to be offered another fight sooner down the soon or short notice. We just wanted to be ready so we could say yes to anything that came across.
Okay.
And then there was just, some issues with some matchups and some girls just not really ready to fight or wanting to fight. So we were kind of like, oh no, like, I hope it's not this way because it's kind of been that way in my career.
Oh, big time. Yeah, I know.
And we were kind of having that that feeling come across, but the UFC and my agency Iridium were working pretty hard and locked down this matchup for December 2nd.
Yeah, it all worked out. And this is a stacked fight night card too. What a cool thing to be part of this. When did you find out? Like, I'm sure you got a full camp. We still got even time before the second, but when did you find out about the matchup?
Yeah, we found out, well, what is it now? Like 5 weeks ago. So it was like,
cool.
I think we found out it was around 8 weeks, which has probably been 2 times longer than any like fight camp I've ever been in my whole career. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I mean, I feel like I was like, holy 8 weeks. Like, that's a long time. And now I'm like, oh, it's already been 5 weeks. Like it just flew by. So.
Did you know much about Veronica Hardy before taking this fight?
Veronica Hardy was training here in Vancouver at DCS with Ryan.
Oh, no way.
Her whole fight camp in 2019, and I was her main training partner for that whole fight camp.
Oh, I didn't even know that. That's so cool. So was there any like
there's no animosity, no ill or bad feelings or bad blood between us that I know of or that she has stressed. Actually, it was quite the opposite. We were offered to fight in Paris in September. And she was on the side of no, that became friendly. I helped her out when she was here, that we were training partners for a while, and me being new to the business said yes, because it's business and I'm just trying to get my job done. And so that didn't happen. And that was part of the long duration of why I didn't have a fight. Just one of the reasons, but here we are, December 2nd, going to be fighting in Austin, Texas against one another.
Have you spoken to her since the fight was announced? Like, are you guys that close, or was it one of those things you haven't spoken since the fight was done?
I haven't reached out. I mean, I thought about just sending her a message and saying, all the best. But I mean, I've never fought against somebody other than like, in my amateur career and stuff that I've like been communicating with or friendly with or had any sort of connection with prior to fighting them. So the closest to it was fighting Haley Cowan and having her be like best friends and really good friends with Melissa Croden. And I've cross-trained with Melissa before. So that was like the closest connection I've ever had with an opponent. So, this one's definitely different in that sense, but I feel like, it's business. And then, outside of that, obviously I have no ill feelings towards anybody that I've ever fought. So yeah, I guess it's just part of the plan.
Yeah,
I
it's
guess.
business. Yeah, no, absolutely. And I was going to mention as well, like, having trained with her, I'm sure that's a bit of an advantage in the sense that Veronica hasn't fought that much, right? So she just had the one fight this year, and then prior to that, there was a really long layoff. So how much of an advantage is that for you compared to maybe some of her other opponents who don't get to see her in the training room?
True. Yeah. I mean, I feel like that, we were partners for her whole camp that in 2019 when she was fighting in Uruguay, I believe. And yeah, I mean, I definitely got to see her style. We kind of know a little bit about her. Obviously there's lots of tape, a lot more tape to watch on her than there is on me. And, since then, like I was pretty new in my professional career. So I feel like, I know that she's gotten a bit better since I trained with her then, but I've also gotten a lot better since then. So, I mean, I don't want to speak too soon on how things were then to now. So, but I mean, we were good training partners back in 2019. So I think it's going to be a really good, exciting fight to watch.
I'd say so. Training camp. Tell me about that. Who have you got to work with? I know part of your camp was in Mexico with Lupi as well, which was great.
Yeah, I've spent 6 weeks down there actually over the last 3 or so months. I went down when I had, nothing kind of on the horizon Shortly after my fight in April, I took a month or so at home, and then I went down there for 3 weeks. Basically the game plan of just putting myself in the most uncomfortable situations, like the Mexican boxing and the sort of the training schedule down there, and just sort of being a sponge and just soaking up all the things that I could learn. I was super welcomed by the team down there. Obviously Loopy and I are become really good friends over the years and stuff. So it was really awesome to be there, help her out. She took another short notice fight in New York after her last fight. So it was just, hey, let's go down. And there's days where it's just her and I in the gym. So we were just using each other to sort of, get our work in and build our skills and, punch each other in the face.
Right. No, what a way to do, what a way to have a friendship is getting to beat each other up. How is the language barrier down there, or do you speak Spanish?
I don't speak a lot of Spanish. I'm definitely learning a lot of Spanish. I felt like I could really understand what they're saying, but I really couldn't really reciprocate in the conversations or participate, I guess. But they don't speak a ton of English. There was a few people that could translate. I use Google Translate quite a bit. There's days we go shopping or go buy something, and Loopy's like, I'm not helping you at all. You have to do it by yourself. And then she'd just stand back behind me, and I'm trying to negotiate and pay and figure it out. So I'm learning a lot, and I expect that I'll most likely be going down there more often. I've been down there twice this year already. And like I said, I was welcomed with open arms and considered to be part of the team. So I'm super grateful for that connection and that experience. And my whole life down here, cross training, it's just a huge part of sort of what we do here in BC, because we're all spread out, and down there, it's just another part of cross training I've added to the game plan.
That's excellent. And what did you think of Loopy's win? I couldn't believe that one judge had it 30-27. I was kind of like, oh my God, they're not going to give it to her. What happened?
Yeah, we had a viewing party at a local pub here at the Cleveland Tavern. They started showing the fights. So we brought a huge crew out, obviously in support of Loopy and Alessandro and Diego, all those guys from Lobo. It was really awesome. I mean, Loopy just threw one kick maybe and just boxed, walked her down and boxed her. And we were standing there, and they said 30-27, and they pointed it to Ricci. We were like, Casey looked at me, and he was like, what the fuck? And I was like, sorry. Then my heart started going, because I'm like, okay, the judges are looking at something we didn't see. There's no way. This was a no contest. It was Loopy winning all 3 rounds, and then they 29-28 the other 2, which, okay, sure. But 30-27, I was like, man, this is just weird.
Yeah. Got to worry about that with the judges. Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard sometimes, they always say, don't leave it in the judge's hands. And I thought a few times Loopy was going to knock her out. I mean, I've taken some punches from Loopy, and I know she hits hard, and I know she knows where to hit you. And I was really happy to see her just stand there and box, not wrestle her, and just, show everybody that she can stand on the feet in the pocket, and she will. She's got a Mexican boxing style, man, and they're angry, and they don't back down.
How's your weight cut going? I'm sure down in Mexico you're eating great because it's all cheap, all the food, and you're all eating really fresh stuff too, right?
It's funny, actually. In my early 20s, I stopped eating a lot of dairy because I thought it was causing me digestive issues. And down there where we stayed, the girl we stay with, she has a 2-bedroom apartment. So Loopy and I share a bed for 3 weeks, and we fight each other during the day and then sleep together at night. It's quite humorous. But the girl we stay with, Paulina, is from a village a couple hours away from Guadalajara, and her family would bring us eggs, egg whites, cheese, homemade tortillas, stuff from the village. So we ate a lot of fresh ingredients down there. I feel like the food, like you said, it's cheaper, but it's just the quality of it's just different. It doesn't have all the extra additives. It's easy to lose weight. You don't deal with digestive issues. It's so funny. You're just like, okay, processed stuff at home is gotta go.
It's bad. Yeah.
My stints down in Mexico, I'm at home. I eat more whole foods than I used to, and I'm pretty cautious of what I eat anyways. But I'm eating dairy again and have no issues at all. So got rid of the almond milk, got rid of the oat milks, none of that stuff.
Well, because they don't have the nutrients either. That's one thing I discovered too. I was very anti-dairy for a long time, and then now it's way more available to get grass-fed milk, for example, and there's way more nutrients in there, right? So
so that's kind of that. I mean, the weight cut's great. I went up to 135, and I was up there, and held my own there for that fight. And I knew I was going to go back down to 25. So we sort of just gradually, obviously it's just easy in Mexico just to lose weight anyways, but yeah, weight cut's great. I'm right on target. I've been working with the UFC PI. Those guys are awesome. Glenn Castro is just like back and forth. I'm telling him what I'm doing. He's like, man, that's exactly what I would have you doing. He's perfect. So
That's awesome. Your corner, what will that look like for this fight?
all the J's again. Jay Johnsey, Jeremy Kennedy, Jesse Buffano, and me, Jamey-Lyn Horth. So
there we go. Gotta make it work. How's this one playing out on December 2nd? How do you see the fight going down?
I mean, I'm really looking at my hands right now, and I'm really liking the way my hands are feeling right now. Obviously my kicks are always something to be aware of, but I'm really feeling the hands this fight.
I'm guessing this, I'm pretty sure I know the answer to this, but I got to ask anyways. UFC 297, probably too soon to get on that card with you fighting early December.
I mean, I'm not opposed to any of it. Like I said, this was the same sort of situation that happened in Vegas. They put me on Vegas and they came to Vancouver. Now they put me in Austin, Texas, and then they're coming to Toronto. And I really hope that they sort of take that into consideration. Everyone keeps saying, well, why didn't they just keep you for Vancouver? And why didn't they just keep you for Toronto? And, honestly, like I've said it so many times, I could fight in the back alley at some bum restaurant. I wouldn't matter. It's my job is my job. And I'm asked to fight and I'll say yes. So, I'm really hoping that they keep that in the back of their mind and they save some room for me for Toronto.
Yeah, we got to get you one of those Canadian cards. Jamie, thanks so much for doing this. We're looking forward to it. December 2nd, UFC Austin. If there's anyone you want to thank before we get out of here, any sponsors, any social media, I'll give you the last word.
Oh, this is so stressful. I have so many sponsors.
Well, it's not. I'll make it easy for you. Here's what we do. You just plug the social media and then all your sponsors are on there. If you forget any, right? Yeah. Just tell them to go to the social media.
Yeah. So my name's Jamey-Lyn Horth. I'm fighting on December 2nd in Austin, Texas. I'm from Squamish, BC. The best community and the best place in the world, arguably. Fight me if you don't agree. And check out my social media, guys. I have so many sponsors and so many people in the community supporting me, and I'm always so grateful to be able to give back. And just stay tuned. I've got some exciting things coming through.